The universe is vast, billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars. Around many of these stars orbit planets. In this grand cosmic arena, a question echoes. Are we alone? Or could other eyes, ancient and wise, be gazing upon our small blue world? What if humanity is merely a subject of observation? A curious species in an exhibit? Imagine a child peering into an anthill. The child sees complex activity, a society at work. The ants are likely unaware of the giant eye observing them. Could humanity be in a similar position? Are we, in our bustling cities like those ants, under the silent scrutiny of beings far more advanced than ourselves? This idea, that we are being watched but intentionally ignored, presents a chilling yet fascinating possibility. The sheer scale of the cosmos argues against our solitude. If life arose here, why not elsewhere? If intelligence evolved on Earth, could it not have blossomed on countless other worlds? To assume we are unique feels like an echo of ancient beliefs that placed Earth at the center of all creation. Science has taught us humility, showing us our planet is but a speck of dust in a grander scheme. The brilliant physicist Enrico Fermi in 1950 posed a question that has resonated through the decades: where is everybody? This is the heart of the Fermi paradox. Given the age and size of the universe and the high probability of numerous Earth-like planets, there should be abundant evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations. Yet, when we listen to the cosmos, we are met with an unnerving, profound silence. This great silence, as it's sometimes called, is a puzzle. Many solutions have been proposed. Perhaps life is incredibly rare. Perhaps intelligent life is rarer still. Or perhaps civilizations, upon reaching a certain technological prowess, inevitably destroy themselves before they can make their presence known on a galactic scale. But there is another, more unsettling possibility. What if they are out there, in vast numbers, but choose not to interact with us? This is where the zoo hypothesis, an idea formally proposed by astronomer Dr. John A. Ball in 1973, offers a compelling, if somewhat humbling, potential answer to Fermi's haunting question. Dr. Ball suggested that perhaps advanced extraterrestrial civilizations are indeed aware of humanity. However, they have chosen to deliberately avoid contact. We might be, in essence, inhabitants of a cosmic zoo. The Earth would be a designated area, set aside for natural development, to be observed from a distance. It implies a universe teeming with life, but one where interaction is governed by rules or principles beyond our current comprehension. A galactic society that has decided to leave us be. The core of the zoo hypothesis is this deliberate non-interference. It paints a picture of humanity as a developing species, watched over by more mature, perhaps vastly more powerful cosmic neighbors. They might see us as too primitive, too volatile, or simply too interesting in our current uninfluenced state to risk disrupting. The silence then is not an indication of absence, but a sign of presence, a presence that has chosen to remain hidden, to let Earth's unique biological and social experiment run its course because we are not yet considered their peers. While direct, irrefutable proof of the zoo hypothesis remains elusive, certain events and testimonies have fueled speculation that we might indeed be under observation. Consider the sudden and mysterious shutdown of the Sunspot Solar Observatory in New Mexico in September 2018. For nearly 2 weeks, the facility was evacuated and closed by the FBI, with initial explanations being vague, citing only a security issue. This led to a flurry of theories, including the idea that the observatory, which studies the sun, might have accidentally detected something it wasn't supposed to see. Adding to these whispers are the claims made by several astronauts over the decades. Figures like Edgar Mitchell, the 6th person to walk on the moon, spoke openly about his belief that extraterrestrial visitations are real and that governments have been covering up this information. Beyond specific observatory incidents or astronaut accounts, there is a long history of UFO sightings and unexplained aerial phenomena, UAPs, many of which have been reported by military pilots and radar operators, individuals whose jobs depend on accurate observation. In the vast cosmic quiet, there are occasional whispers that make us lean in closer, wondering if we have finally heard something. The most famous of these is the WOW signal. Detected on August 15, 1977, by the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University. This was a strong, narrowband radio signal lasting for 72 seconds. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius and bore many of the expected hallmarks of an artificial extraterrestrial origin. Astronomer Jerry Amen, who discovered it while reviewing data days later, was so impressed he circled it on the printout and wrote, "Wow," beside it. The signal has never been detected again, despite numerous attempts. Could the WOW signal be a form of leakage from our cosmic zookeepers, an accidental transmission that slipped through their otherwise careful silence? If it was from an advanced civilization adhering to a zoo hypothesis protocol, its fleeting nature would make perfect sense. It's a whisper, not a shout. Something to pique curiosity without forcing an interaction. A blip in the carefully curated silence that surrounds our planetary enclosure. The idea of a cosmic ignore list or a galactic quarantine is a natural extension of the zoo hypothesis. If Earth is a designated preserve, then there might be established protocols among advanced civilizations to ensure our isolation. Our solar system could be marked on galactic charts as a do not disturb zone, a place where natural development is prioritized. Any signals we send out into the cosmos might be noted, catalogued, and then deliberately ignored, at least for now. If alien civilizations are indeed watching us, why would they choose to remain silent, to keep us in this cosmic zoo? One prominent line of reasoning points to human immaturity. Consider our own species' history. It is rife with conflict, warfare, and a tendency towards self-destruction. We struggle with global cooperation, we pollute our own planet, and we often treat members of our own species with appalling cruelty. From a detached, advanced perspective, humanity might appear as a volatile, unpredictable, and perhaps even dangerous adolescent species, not yet ready for the responsibilities that come with joining a galactic community. This leads to the concept of alien ethics, a hypothetical framework that might govern the behavior of highly developed civilizations. Just as we have ethical guidelines for studying uncontacted tribes on Earth to avoid cultural contamination or harm, advanced extraterrestrials might adhere to a similar, albeit far grander, principle of non-interference. This prime directive could be a fundamental rule: do not interfere with the natural development of less advanced civilizations. Contact, especially with a species as potentially self-destructive as ours, could have unforeseen and catastrophic consequences, either for us or for them, or for the delicate balance of galactic life. Our science is still young, and our grasp of cosmic realities may be laughably incomplete from their vantage point. The notion that aliens are watching us, yet ignoring us, often intertwines with another compelling and unsettling idea, that our own governments might already be aware of this presence. This theory suggests that the ignoring is not entirely one-sided from the alien perspective, but rather a carefully managed situation involving secret agreements between extraterrestrial visitors and select human authorities. The silence we perceive as the public might be a meticulously constructed facade, hiding a deeper, more complex interaction that has been ongoing for decades, known only to a privileged few. Why would governments engage in such a massive cover-up? Proponents suggest a variety of reasons. The foremost is often cited as preventing mass panic and societal disruption. The revelation that we are not alone, and perhaps are even technologically and intellectually inferior to other cosmic species, could shatter religious beliefs, economic systems, and the very fabric of our current world order. Furthermore, access to alien technology, even if limited or poorly understood, could provide an immense strategic advantage to any nation possessing such secrets. While the zoo hypothesis offers a fascinating and internally consistent explanation for the Fermi paradox, it is crucial to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism. The primary counter-argument is straightforward. There is no direct, verifiable, and unambiguous evidence to support it. Anecdotes, blurry photographs, unexplained radar blips, and astronaut testimonies, while intriguing, do not meet the rigorous standards of scientific proof required to confirm such an extraordinary claim. Extraordinary claims, as the saying goes, require extraordinary evidence, and for the zoo hypothesis, that evidence remains conspicuously absent from the public and scientific domain. It also presumes that all, or at least a dominant consortium of, advanced civilizations would agree on a policy of non-interference and would be capable of enforcing it across vast interstellar distances for potentially millions of years. The uniformity of behavior implied by the zoo hypothesis is a significant hurdle for many to accept, as diversity seems a more likely characteristic of life, even advanced life. Furthermore, there are many other potential solutions to the Fermi paradox that do not require the elaborate scenario of a cosmic zoo. Perhaps life itself is an incredibly rare event in the universe, or maybe the transition from simple life to complex intelligent life is an even greater filter. Another sobering possibility is the Great Filter Theory, which suggests that civilizations might inevitably encounter a technological or societal challenge that leads to their extinction before they can achieve widespread interstellar communication or travel. If we entertain the zoo hypothesis, if we imagine ourselves as inhabitants of a carefully monitored cosmic preserve, a profound question arises. What are they waiting for? If these advanced, silent observers have a purpose beyond mere study, if their non-interference is conditional, then there must be some threshold that humanity needs to reach before the gates of the zoo are opened, or before we are deemed ready to join the wider galactic community. This long wait implies a test, or at least a period of maturation, with unknown criteria for graduation from our current isolated state. Perhaps they will reveal themselves when we develop reliable interstellar travel of our own, or maybe it's when we can manage the immense power of our star, becoming a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale. Alternatively, the criteria might not be technological at all, but ethical and social. They might be waiting for humanity to overcome its tendencies towards self-destruction, to abolish war, to establish a sustainable and equitable global society. Perhaps they are waiting for a sign of collective consciousness, a moment when humanity as a whole recognizes its interconnectedness and its place in the larger cosmic order. This could be a philosophical or spiritual awakening, rather than a purely scientific or political one. The prime directive of non-interference might be lifted when we demonstrate that contact would not shatter our societies, but rather enrich us and allow us to contribute positively to the galactic tapestry.